welcome to my channel and welcome to what is going to be a dark academia themed reading vlog. I have tried my absolute best to wear something that is dark academia-esque. I think it might still be a little bit too much on the light side, but given what we had to work with, this was the best I can do. I'm also not super sure about this necklace. I think it might be like a bit too golden. I don't know, maybe. Anyway, so we're going to be reading a dark academia book and we're going to be doing some dark academia themed activities and also some book themed activities. And if you haven't guessed already, the book that we're reading is this one. This is Revelry in the Dark by M.G. Ellison, also known as Mars, also known as our very own Somberhoney books, who I happen to have the absolute honor and pleasure of being very good friends with. They are part of the Chaos Queens, who is the group that I stream with every second Thursday sometimes. All of the links will of course be linked down below. And I've actually already read this book, but I've never read this physical real version of the book. I was a beta reader throughout the process and I've read drafts 1, 2 and 3, but I haven't read the final one and I'm so excited. It's been a while since last time I read this. If you haven't heard of this book before, I will read you the blurb. I very strongly recommend it and I haven't read the final version, but I'm really looking forward to finding out what changes have been made since last time I read it. But even the last draft that I read was really good, so I definitely would recommend it, but you will hear my full thoughts once I've actually read the book. But as for the blurb, the best time for a fresh start is during the crisp, clean autumn. At least that's what Georgie Miller keeps telling herself. After the death of her father the previous spring, Georgie's anxiety hit an all-time high, forcing her to leave the university she had been enrolled in. Now she has the opportunity to attend a different school, following in her brother's footsteps at the prestigious Westwood Conservatory. The school is known worldwide for two things: the rigorous academic standards to which it holds its students, and the numerous stories of the ghosts that haunt its campus. As a transfer student, Georgie attracts the attention of everyone at school, including the enigmatic Professor Decker and his schemed yet reclusive teaching assistants. The question at hand: will Georgie be able to get the fresh start she so desperately craves, or will the ghosts that haunt her, old and new, drag her into the darkest depths of her insecurities? I love this so much. The blurb really describes the book very well. So I want to do something special to celebrate the release of this book and reading this book physically for the first time. And the prestigious Westwood Conservatory is a university, I guess, that has a castle on campus. So I thought, what would be the best place to start reading this book than on an actual castle? We are back home. It is actually incredibly warm outside. I got a bit overheated, especially on the way home. I was fine while I was just sitting there, but walking back was just like, why is it this warm? It is going into the first week of October. What's the date? It's the 7th of October. It should not be this hot. But I'm glad that I wasn't wearing a jumper, because my first choice of dark academia outfit was gonna be this really cute black and white sort of patterned jumper that is just like perfect dark academia vibes, and I don't think I would have survived in that. I've made it about this far into the book. I read in a couple of different places, because first it was quiet, but then there were a bunch of children nearby, so I moved somewhere else that was quieter. And then I just started like reading a couple of chapters and moving to a different location, and then reading a couple more chapters. So I'm on chapter 6 at the minute. And I noticed while I was out that I don't have a bookmark, so the first thing that I'm going to do now that I'm home is going to be fixing that. It's been such a long time since I read a physical book like this, and I just don't think I own any bookmarks, at least in England. I think I've got some old ones at my parents' house in Spain, and I would like to read this book without just slipping a random receipt in it. So we're gonna remedy that situation. And I'm thinking, because I made some really cute like wool bookmarks for my parents for Christmas a couple of years ago that had like a little pom-pom at the end, and I absolutely love how this looked. So I think I'm gonna be recreating that, and I am trying to figure out what colors I want to use, because I want them to match this book, seeing as it's probably the only physical book I'm gonna be reading this year. But I don't think I want to go for like black. I think that might be too dark, but I do want something that's dark academia-esque, so maybe brown. So we're gonna go look through my wool stash and make a very pretty bookmark for this, and then keep reading. Just looking for some cardboard, and I actually found these, which are from the last time that I made a pom-pom bookmark 3 years ago. I don't know why I didn't throw these away, but it's very convenient because it saves me a bit of work now. I can just go straight ahead and make the pom-pom, and I don't have to make any little loopy holes. I am so pleased with how this turned out. It is so damn cute. I love it. I miss reading physical books. It's just so nice to be able to hold it. I'm so happy. I've been having a really good day today so far, literally just taking it easy and enjoying myself. I do want to be a little bit productive this afternoon though. I have been finishing my novel writing blog, which I really wanted to get up by Wednesday this week. So what I want to do is a typical Somberhoney books productivity maneuver, which is alternating between doing a little bit of something productive and reading a chapter. Since the chapters in this book are quite short, I think this would be a great book to attempt that with, and we are going to be doing that for the afternoon and seeing whether I can finish my video, but also how far I can get in this book. A fatal flaw with this plan. Now that I've read a chapter, I kind of want to just sit here and keep going, but we're going to go and do half an hour video editing before I can earn the next chapter of this book. It is currently 6:10 and I've been alternating between reading and editing, and I've just finished the second pass through this video, and I've been really enjoying this like back and forth thing. It's not something I would generally be good at, because I don't like switching tasks in the middle that much. But because this is a book that I have read before, even if this is a new version, I'm actually doing pretty well with it. Like, I can drag myself away from it and switch a lot easier because this is something that is familiar to me. This is how we're doing in terms of reading. I am on page 74 and just about to start chapter 10, and I am very much enjoying it still. I absolutely love the vibes of this book, like the way that the descriptions are done, especially at the very start. It's so gorgeous, like it makes me want to go to this place and sit there and read. I am very excited to keep reading more of this. I think for now I am going to switch into some slightly more comfortable clothes and go have dinner, and then probably keep doing the like editing and reading thing for the rest of the evening. Good morning, it is 11 a.m. on a Sunday. I've just got back from my driving lesson and switched into my dark academia outfit of the day. And honestly, I gotta say I'm enjoying this dressing up thing so much. I don't normally wear skirts, like ever. I am the only female employee at work, which shouldn't be a problem, but it makes me really uncomfortable to wear overly female stuff, and everyone's really nice and, you know, I'm sure no one would comment on it, but I generally just don't feel comfortable wearing anything that puts a lot of attention on the fact that I am female to work. And I don't leave the house much outside of work, which means that I've got a bunch of really pretty clothes that I never normally wear anywhere. And even if it's just for a vlog, it's nice to be able to look a little bit nice for once. So yesterday I continued reading and editing into the evening until I got to like a good stopping point with my editing, and then I just went into bed and read for a bunch of time. And we made it to the end of part 1, so I am starting part 2 this morning. And I think what I'm going to do is just continue reading and editing throughout the morning until I get to a certain scene that I've been waiting to get to. And I can't remember exactly when this happens, but I think it is in the second part. So when we get to that, I have something else planned that I want to do that's like gonna be really fun, but until then I am just gonna try and focus on editing. And since we're not getting any bubble tea today, I will instead make myself a lovely cup of rooibos tea to go with the dark academia vibes, because I'm sure tea has to be dark academia. I mean, tea fits into every aesthetic. Tea is the most aesthetic thing there is, and it's the most cozy thing there is. And every video should involve drinking tea. We've gotten to the part of the book that I've been waiting for, and it was considerably further into the book than I thought it would be, but we've made it. Now let's go make a butterfly. So spoiler warning if you don't want to know anything at all about this book, but this is just a very tiny little description of something, so I don't think it counts as a real spoiler. But this is the section of the book that I've been waiting for. I stooped to admire a few purple flowers growing at the base of one of the trees. And while I was down there, something metallic glinting in the sparse sunlight caught my eye. I pulled the tiny object out of the dirt and wiped it off, revealing a gold butterfly-shaped charm with 4 small blue gems embedded in the wings and a broken loop at the top. Why have I been waiting to get to that part of the book, you might ask? Well, today we are going to be making a butterfly charm inspired by that description. This is an idea that has been on my list for quite a while, and while I was in Spain for summer, I took a look at some of my crafting supplies from when I was younger that I no longer really use that much, and I brought back anything that I thought would be useful for this project, and now we're gonna dig them up and see what we can do. I haven't done any like beaded sort of crafting things in probably over a decade, but can't be that difficult, right? The process started out a little bit rocky. I got out all of the different beads that I'd brought over from Spain and immediately realized that I had far too many and got a little bit overwhelmed trying to decide which ones to use because they're all so pretty. I started doing some like doodling in my sketchbook, and I had the full intention of drawing multiple different designs, getting out my colored pencils and figuring out what I wanted this to look like and make a bunch of options before going into this. And after drawing out a very basic butterfly shape and stopping to think for a minute, I realized that this is a project that I'm doing for fun to celebrate one of my best friend's book release. And it's not something that I should be overthinking in any way whatsoever. So I decided to just go with the first idea that popped into my head, grabbed some beads that I thought were pretty, and just started improvising. And I'm honestly so surprised by how cute this looked. I did start improvising with the intention of this just being a complete disaster, but it is definitely not a complete disaster. I actually would wear this, I think. And yeah, it was just really fun and therapeutic, and I really enjoyed making this little thing. It's so cute. Look how cute it is. I have been continuing to read Revelry over the course of this last week, and I think we are getting close to the end. I have been genuinely really enjoying this. I'm not usually the type of person that rereads books, and I thought it was gonna take me a little bit more effort to get through because I have read it 3 times already, but it's just been such a magical experience to read this as a physical book, and I am genuinely really enjoying it. I have just under 100 pages left, so I think I can finish this today. The caveat of that is that I'm actually going to meet up with a friend in London today, and we're going to go to Hyde Park, I think. I think it might be just a tiny bit too early in the year to get some orange red leaves, but maybe we'll find a couple. And we're also going to something that I've been told is a bookshop, a Japanese bookshop specifically, but when I looked it up online, it is branded as a Japanese supermarket, so we're either going to a Japanese bookshop or a Japanese supermarket. We'll find out. I'm gonna assume it's both, but you never know. But it is just under an hour to get there and just under an hour to get back, which means that I should have plenty of time to read this on the train and hopefully finish it. I ended up finishing the book on the train. It was literally so perfect. Like, I closed the page after reading the acknowledgements, and the guard person announced that we were arriving at my stop. Couldn't have timed that better if I tried. It was a really nice day in London as well. I had lots of fun meeting up with my friend, and I had a really good time reading on the way there and on the way home. If you have not read this book, do yourself a favor and go buy it and read it right now. Marta's links will be in the description. Their YouTube channel, Instagram, Ko-Fi, all of the other things. The link for this will definitely be down there. Make sure you go check all of that out. And if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. It has been lovely seeing you around, and I will see you next time for another video. Bye bye.